Greetings, beloved hearts of love. I, Goddess of Justice, greet you this day. It is my desire to offer you greater assistance in your life. As I am the Sacred Fire's authority for divine justice, which is divine balance of the inner and outer activities of the sacred fire, of your own heart flame, and as I am the Ascended Master elect from the Ascended Master realms, chosen to be a greater overlighting presence to the people of Earth, then I am one of the Ascended hosts who can help you be free from problems and discord as quickly as possible. So please, dear hearts, try to understand that my divine justice to the world is a mighty balancing activity. And it is a balancing activity that grows in your world the more that you discover the nature of the sacred fire. For divine justice to the world is the balancing of the inner and outer activities of the sacred fire. When these two activities meet in your life, the greater melting away of problems and discord occurs more quickly. As the great festival of Wesak is underway in the Himalayas at this hour, celebrating the birthday of His Eminence, Lord Buddha, as well as his illumination in his life, and as well celebrating his ascension at the completion of the Buddha's life, much focus of this year's Wesak celebration concerns matters of the heart. And the great Buddha Lamas and Masters seek greater ways and means to teach the good people of Earth to live from their hearts and what that means. May we all take moments this week and pour our love to the Buddha and consciously connect with the Wesak festival in the Himalayas by placing our attention there for a few moments sometime this week. Pour your love to the Buddha and invite the Buddha heart and the Buddha consciousness to fill your own heart. Also this week, in the Ascended Master realms, we are celebrating the Ascension anniversary of Mother Akasha. And many of you had such a wonderful time receiving the gifts of the Mother's presence, of Mother Akasha, into your hearts in her Tree of Life class this past Wednesday. And so it is a good time, once again, to place our attention upon the beloved love flame that abides within your hearts. And even if most of humankind have not yet discovered the truth, the numbers of you who have this sacred knowledge is enough to start making a greater difference in the world. As the Goddess of Justice, beloved hearts, when I refer to the inner and outer activities of the sacred fire, the tiny flame within your hearts represents the inner activity, and the sacred fire that the masters and angels pour into your world to uplift humanity, or pour into your own life in greater measure When you call upon them, this is the outer activity of the sacred fire. For example, Saint Germain's sacred fire you know as the violet purifying flame of eternal freedom. Mother Akasha's sacred fire is the rose-pink flame of divine love. Beloved Jesus Christ's sacred fire is the golden flame of illumination. And Archangel Michael's sacred fire is the cosmic blue flame of eternal power, and so forth. All masters use variations of the sacred fire that determine the quality, the color, and the power of the sacred fire. So you have the great outpouring of the sacred fire from the ascended host, the angelic host. This is the outer activity. Then you also have the heart flame of your beloved higher self, the I Am God presence above you. Now try to follow this, precious hearts. Call to your higher self, that is your beloved I Am God presence, to blaze its heart flame down your life stream, through your higher Christ consciousness, to fill your outer self, and to blend with your own physical heart flame. Then call upon this blended action of the heart flame of your presence and the heart flame within your physical heart to expand throughout your outer self, your mind, your body, your feelings, and then to blaze out from you. Once you have done this, then you call to us, the Ascended Masters, to pour our sacred fire from our great temples of light to fill everything in you and the world around you. When these two activities meet and blend, your own heart flames, the flame from the heart of your presence, meets and blends with the sacred fire flames from the Ascended Masters or the angels, then the limitations, struggles, or problems that may be in your world begin to be consumed by the sacred fire that contains these two activities. Your heart flames, the flame of your presence, the flame in your physical heart, expanding, blending, radiating out from you, and blending with the Ascended Master's sacred fire. Now here, beloved hearts, as an example, you will be calling upon my twin flame, beloved Saint Germain, to flood and fill you and your world with his violet purifying flame. Perhaps calling upon Mother Akasha to flood and fill you and your world with her rose-pink flames of divine love, and calling upon the Master Jesus to fill you and your world with his golden flames of illumination. So, this is a meeting of the inner and outer activities of the sacred fire. And the inner desires of your own heart flame are then blending with the outer activities and qualities of, say, the violet purifying flames, or whatever master you have called forth. This is how the sacred fire can produce so many blessings in your world, as well as remove any discord, struggle, limitations, and or problems. When you make these calls, even just for a few moments every day, then this continuation creates a momentum of the inner and outer activity of the sacred fire. You then begin to receive, to see the results. Always, it is to call upon the heart flame of your presence, pouring down your life stream into your outer self, calling upon your own heart flame in your physical heart to expand, blend with the heart flame that has come down from your presence, and then this inner activity of heart flames, command it to fill you and blaze out from you in all directions. As your heart's flames are blazing out from you, you are then calling to beloved Saint Germain, or Mother Akasha, or beloved Jesus, to blaze their sacred fire in, through, and around you. As their sacred fire builds around you, and that is the outer activity, and it receives the sacred fire of your own heart flames, this is where the two meet together. The inner activity, your heart flames, meets the outer activity of the Ascended Master's sacred fire that you have called forth to blaze into your life and world. So you see, beloved hearts, then our flames enfolding you and blazing out into your world become one with your own heart's flame, allowing the powers of your beloved presence and its invincible will to move, to finally move more powerfully into your outer world conditions, whatever sacred fire is necessary to prevent problems attaching themselves to you or disturbing you or forcing themselves into your world. So when you do this, you have the sacred fire's authority for divine justice, which takes place when you have the divine balance of the inner activities of your heart flames and the outer activities of the Ascended Master's flames. And since I, the Goddess of Justice, I am the sacred fire's authority for divine justice, which is divine balance. I am the sacred fire's authority, again, which is divine balance. And if you call to me and ask me to help you build a quick, dynamic momentum of the divine balance of the inner and outer activities of the sacred fire, blazing in you and blazing out into all the activities of your outer life. If you call upon me, I will respond to your call. I will come with my angels and offer you assistance to do what I have brought to your attention today with greater success. Beloved hearts, this will help each of you attain your mastery in this life you have been given. There is much that is out of balance in the world today. There is too much injustice, not enough divine justice. You might say, if you like, divine justice and divine balance begins with me. And this way, I can make a difference in the world. Especially if there are millions of you that are doing this, precious hearts, declaring every day divine justice and divine balance begins with me. And by knowing this and decreeing this, I can make a difference in this world. Then follow this little spiritual protocol that I have offered you today. Gain your momentum, and together we can make a difference what the world requires so much at this time. I do understand, precious hearts, that in certain movements in the world today, ideas of individualism, striving for excellence, the pursuit of creative ideals, and even perfection, are being crushed and pushed down. Mediocrity seems to be encouraged. Yet I, Goddess of Justice, say unto you that the pursuit of such ideals, including the pursuit of freedom and liberty, are inherent and intrinsic within the spirit and the soul of every human being. In other words, they are natural. Yet so often they are stifled. There is too much imbalance. I have offered you today a means to greater balance. And if you have greater balance, you will have justice. To all of you who have some knowledge of the sacred fire, knowledge of the tiny flame hidden within your hearts, as you accept these truths, I offer you a means to create greater balance in your lives, which will naturally follow with greater divine justice, that will naturally follow with greater happiness and success, and provide you with the means to fulfill your heart's desires. Eternal divine justice and balance must return to the world if the greater good of all humanity is to be realized and manifest. And one day, precious hearts, in this new golden age, perhaps, even perfection can be realized and manifest. Realize, beloveds, that anything that is out of balance is not going to create any good in your lives. In fact, what is out of balance eventually creates discord. While the greater numbers of humankind do not yet understand that by conscious command that they can draw forth the greater powers within the greater life of our universe, by which the outer self could be surrounded and used. You, beloved hearts, are parts of the growing tens of millions who do have some of the knowledge of the sacred fire. And you can keep yourselves free from the sinister clutches that are trying to take down the people of earth. They will never succeed. Those who serve sinister ambitions. Great numbers of the people of earth are awakening now. And you who have the knowledge of the sacred fire, and now how to combine the inner and outer activities of the sacred fire, you can insulate yourselves from the discord of the outer world and begin to create greater balance and greater justice in your own lives by using the spiritual protocol I have offered to you this day. Yes, thousands of you, then millions of you, will affect most wonderfully the billions of you that live upon your planet in the most pleasant, happy, and liberating ways. And that includes the freedom to all the kingdoms of life on your earth, as well as the powers of nature. Almost all of life upon the earth is out of balance to some degree, and this is opened to such injustice. Injustice to the kingdoms that you share upon your planet. Injustice to the powers of nature, the forces of the elements. Injustice against the great tree kingdom. Injustice against the environment and your atmosphere. When there is no divine balance, there is no divine justice, precious hearts. You who are holding the door open for greater light, love, truth, and perfection to enter into your lives, you, beloved hearts, are to be the open door where eventually all of humankind can be taught to reach up to the greater life that is all perfection, which includes the angelic host, the ascended host, and great cosmic beings who are making themselves available in greater numbers to awakening humanity and draw all the divine qualities and powers of the spiritual hierarchy into the use of your outer selves. Bring an end to all impurities. Bring an end to all limitations. Bring an end to all disease, all injustice. Bring an end to all that is not in balance. And open the door to greater sources of perfection that have all waited for this hour to be of greater service. I remind you, precious hearts, it is the cosmic law that when an individual reaches up to the greater, to those who are greater in their evolution, to a Jesus Christ, to a Kuan Yin, to an Archangel Michael, just as examples. It is the cosmic law that when you turn your attention up to us and call upon us to fill you with our light, our love, our sacred fire, the great cosmic law demands that we answer you. There is no hesitation. There is no wondering on our parts as to whether we will respond to you. We live by the great cosmic law. And the great cosmic law states that if there are those from the Earth's third dimension who reach up to the fifth dimension of the planet, where the majority of your ascended host and angelic host live, and if you ask for divine intervention, if you ask for healing, if you ask for assistance, if you ask to be filled with more light, more love, and more sacred fire balance, the great cosmic law demands that we respond to you. However, it is always your free will that determines how much of our response you receive. Doubt is the enemy. If you have any doubt that we will respond to your prayers or calls, that doubt will cancel or minimize the amount of help, of assistance we can offer you. Therefore, have remarkable faith that just as you are real, so too are we. You are all beings of free will, and you can use your free will or not. Those of you who choose to use your free will to acknowledge your spiritual hierarchy that live in the fifth dimension of the planet, we keep saying this, angels, ascended beings, great cosmic beings, and there are thousands more within our galaxy, not to mention our universe. Yet I say that those of you who choose to use your free will and your capacity to reach up to the greater focuses of light in the universe will draw unto yourselves the most intense love. Love that will set your life free. Remember us, and we will remember you. It is very wonderful to be free from problems. And I am certain that when you are free from problems, you will agree with me how wonderful that is. And I'm quite sure you can attain your freedom just as the same as I attained mine, and the same as the beloved Saint Germain attained his. So when you think of divine justice, think always of your freedom from problems, because your world will be in perfect divine balance and order. That allows you to be of more service to the world around you and to bless life. Because the distress and disturbance and the obstacles in the outer world have been cut away from you, and you are a free being to use the great heart flame in your heart, the great heart flame in the heart of your presence, and you are free to merge that with the sacred fire that you can call into your life from any ascended master, and finally be free of all distress. And you know, precious hearts, I would invite you to remember that there are angels of divine justice, and divine justice is never blindfolded. Never. Divine justice is never blindfolded. We desire your freedom. We desire you discover the truth of your beingness. We desire you discover the unlimited source of your being and be open and receptive and receive that love endlessly and infinitely. As your Ascended Master-elect for 2021, I, Goddess of Justice, remain at your service. Beloved hearts of love, Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.